Once there was an Arab singer who was known for her long, sleek, glimmering, silky, and thick hair. Her hair was her pride, and it became a signature part of her stage presence. Whenever she performed, the audience would admire the way her hair flowed and shone under the stage lights. Life was a fairy tale for her. She lived in a beautiful villa in Dubai, surrounded by luxury. Her mornings began with a cup of freshly brewed Arabian coffee as she gazed at the sun rising over the desert. She would spend her days rehearsing, recording new songs, and attending glamorous events. She had everything she could wish for: fame, fortune, and a loving husband who supported her career wholeheartedly. But as time went on, the endless cycle of hairstyling, coloring, and treatment started taking a toll on her hair. She noticed it gradually losing its luster. The once silky strands became dry, damaged, and split. She tried everything to revive it. Expensive treatments, oils, and masks, but nothing seemed to work. One day, as she was getting ready for a concert, she looked in the mirror and saw her hair in its worst state yet. Tears welled up in her eyes as she ran her fingers through the brittle strands. She had heard about other artists and singers shaving their heads and had always been curious but hesitant to do something so drastic. But this time she made a bold decision. She called her friend Ahmed, who owned an old barbershop and had a passion for hairstyling. "Ahmed, I need your help," she said, her voice shaky yet determined. Ahmed, at 38, was surprised but agreed immediately. "Of course. What do you need?" "I want you to shave my head," she replied, her heart racing. Ahmed paused for a moment, understanding the gravity of her decision. "Are you sure about this?" She spoke to him on the phone, her voice trembling. "I want to try this, but I'm scared." Ahmed, sensing her fear, replied gently, "I understand. Come to my barbershop tomorrow morning and we'll do it together." The next morning, she arrived at Ahmed's shop, nervous but determined. Ahmed greeted her with a reassuring smile. "Good morning. Are you ready?" She took a deep breath. "I think so. I trust you, Ahmed." He led her to the chair and said, "Let's start by washing your hair. Enjoy it one last time." As he washed her hair, she closed her eyes, trying to calm her nerves. "I'm really doing this, aren't I?" Ahmed, 38, nodded. "Yes, you are, and you're brave for doing it." After he finished washing her hair, Ahmed asked, "Are you ready for the first cut?" She nodded, gripping the armrest tightly. "Yes, I'm ready." Ahmed took the scissors and began cutting her hair in long, deliberate snips. She watched as her locks fell to the floor, feeling a mix of sadness and relief. "It's actually happening," she whispered. Ahmed smiled softly. "It is. And you're doing great." When her hair was cut short, Ahmed picked up the clippers. "This is the final step. Ready?" She took another deep breath. "Ready?" As the clippers buzzed to life, Ahmed gently ran them over her scalp. The sensation was strange, but not unpleasant. "It feels so different," she said, half laughing, half crying. Ahmed reassured her. "You're almost there. You're doing amazing." With each pass of the clippers, more hair fell away until her head was completely bald. When it was over, Ahmed wiped her scalp and turned the chair so she could see herself in the mirror. She stared at her reflection, her head smooth and bare. "I can't believe it," she said, touching her scalp. Ahmed stood behind her, beaming with pride. "You look incredible." Tears of joy filled her eyes. "Thank you, Ahmed. I feel liberated." Ahmed nodded. "Sometimes we need to let go of the old to welcome the new." She smiled, feeling a renewed sense of confidence. "You're right, this is the start of a new chapter." As she stepped out of the barbershop, people on the street stared at her, unsure if she was a woman or a man with her newly bald head. She felt their eyes on her, but instead of shrinking back, she walked with her head held high. As she continued down the street, she ran into her friend Layla, 29, who looked at her in shock. "Oh my God, what happened to your hair?" Layla exclaimed. She smiled, touching her smooth scalp. "I shaved it all off. It was time for a change." Layla's eyes widened. "I can't believe it. You look so different." She laughed softly. "I know. It feels different too. But I feel free." Layla nodded slowly, still taking in the sight. "I have to admit, you look amazing. It takes a lot of courage to do something like this." She smiled gratefully. "Thanks, Layla. I needed to do it for myself." As they stood there talking, a passerby, an elderly man, stopped and looked at her curiously. "Excuse me, miss. Did you really shave your head?" he asked. She nodded. "Yes, I did. I needed a fresh start." The man smiled warmly. "Well, you look beautiful. It's a bold move." She felt a surge of pride. "Thank you. It means a lot to hear that." Layla turned to her, still amazed. "So, what's next for you?" she replied. "I have a concert tonight by the beach. I'm excited and scared at the same time. I don't know if my audience will like me or not." Layla squeezed her arm reassuringly. "You've got this. Your fans love you for your talent and your spirit. This new look might even inspire them." She sighed, feeling the weight of the upcoming performance. "I hope so. It's such a big change. What if they don't recognize me?" Layla shook her head. "They will, and they will admire your courage. You're showing them that beauty isn't just about hair." A smile spread across her face. "Thanks, Layla. I needed that. I just have to believe in myself." Layla nodded firmly. "Exactly. And remember, I'm here cheering you on. Now let's get you ready for that concert. Tonight is going to be amazing." As the sun set and the time for the concert approached, she stood backstage, feeling a mix of nerves and excitement. She could hear the murmur of the crowd and the waves crashing in the distance. Taking a deep breath, she walked out onto the stage with Layla's words echoing in her mind. The audience fell silent for a moment, taking in her new appearance. Then, as she started to sing, the crowd erupted in applause and cheers. She felt a wave of relief and joy, realizing that her true fans supported her no matter what. With renewed confidence, she gave one of the best performances of her life, embracing her new chapter with pride.